Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 15 of my PySimpleGUI lessons. In today's video, we're going to be setting up list elements. So first, let's import PySimpleGUI as SG, and then let's determine what we want in our list element. So we can give it a variable name, list, and then let's say some popular coding languages, such as Python, Java, C++, and HTML. Alright, so now we can make the layout, and then inside the layout we can do sg.listbox. That's the element we're going to be learning about today. And then we write list for this variable list. And then we do this stuff at the bottom. Window equals sg.window. Window Python learning. Layout. While true. Event values equals window.read, and then we print the event. If event equals none, then we break, and then window.close. Okay, so let's run this to make sure it's working. Okay, so over here, the list box, it exists, but it's kind of small, so it can't display every single one at the same time. We can use the scrolling wheel, Python, Java, C++, and HTML. Okay, first thing we do, let's change the size into something better. So this is an attribute. The first one is the width, let's say 30, and the second one is the height. Height is per character. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So 4 plus 1 blank one, so that's going to be 5 rows. If we do 5 rows and run this, then we can see all 4 of them plus 1 empty line at the bottom. Alright, after size, we have the default values. So default values, you can select one of these, like for example Python here, and when we run it, Python will be selected. It doesn't have to be the first one, it can be like HTML. When we rerun this, HTML will be selected. It doesn't have to only be one, it can also be two. Let's say Python and Java. You can copy this. Remember, if we want more than one, you need to put them in a list. Like this, Python and Java will be selected. You can also select everything you want by copying this and pasting it here. This way, everything will be selected. Okay, so after the default values, let's talk about the key. So like before, the key is the identity. We can give it a simple key called LB for list box. And then after key, there's the select mode. So select mode, there are 4 different types of modes. I'll show you every single one. So there's single. This is basically the default one. You click one, and if you want to change one, the last one goes away. Like this, single. Then after single, there is multiple. For multiple, if you select one, it just keeps on adding up, and you can deselect them too. So there's multiple. After multiple, there's browse. So browse is more like single. So if you like click one and then you want to change it, you can browse through it by holding down your left click and moving your mouse around. When you let go, the one that you let go on is selected. So that's browse. And lastly, there's the extended. Extended is basically multiple, but simpler. If you press and hold down and move your mouse, everything inside gets selected. Like so. Alright, after select mode, after select mode, there is the enable events. So like before, it's a boolean. If it's true, then whenever you select something, LB pops up. LB is the key that we defined here, and it's printed because of the print event here. So yeah, if this is false, then no matter how you press, nothing will get printed out. Let's move to this to single, and then after enable events, there's the bind return key. So the bind return key is also a boolean. If it's true, then when you select something, you press the enter on your keyboard, then it'll be seen as an event. Even if enable events is false, it'll still print out LB. Clicking does nothing. You have to physically press enter on your keyboard. Okay? And if this is false, then pressing enter won't really do anything. Nothing happens, nothing gets printed out. Okay, after bind return key, there is the size. Oh wait, we already said size at the really beginning. Then there's the disabled. If this is true, then like the button, you won't be able to interact with it and select anything. However, if this is false, then you get to do what you are doing. You can select and move the rolling wheel, scroll bar. After disabled, there's the auto size text. We already talked about this one, so I won't go into detail. It's a boolean, true or false. And then after auto size text, there's the font. So font again is first the font type, say like Times New Roman, and like the font size next. So let's do something a bit smaller than 30, 15. This way you can tell the font is a little bigger than before, and the font changed. Now it's Times New Roman. Okay, so after font, we have the no scroll bar. Okay, now this one is for list boxes. If this is false, then we can see this scroll bar. This counts as a scroll bar. You can't really scroll anything right now because we don't have enough elements for it, for you to scroll through. But if this is true, then you will see the scroll bar that we were interacting with before no longer exists. Alright, after no scroll bar, there is the background color. So like before, background color, a word or a hex code, we can like say black, and the background changes to black. Now we can't really see the text, so let's change the text color into say white. This way we can see the words again. Yep. Alright, so after text color, we have the pad. Pad is, we talked about this one before. It's left, right, up and down. Nothing too fancy. Okay, after pad, there's the tooltip. So, tooltip, if you hover your mouse over it for a sustained a long time, then this is a tooltip pops up. This is a tooltip. Okay. After the tooltip, there's the right click menu. So we also talked about this one. You make a list, and then the amount. You make another list, A, B, C, and then if we run it and right click, ABC will pop up as a right click menu. Remember, it's right click and not left click. Left click is selecting this. Alright, after right click menu, we have visible. If visible is true, then the element is visible. We can see it. If this is false, however, then we won't be able to see it. It'll just be a blank window because we have nothing else on it. Okay, that's all of the attributes. Now let's talk about different ways for this element to appear. So we already know list box. There are some other ones, such as LB. If we change this to LB, then this will also work. Alright, let me turn visible to true first, sorry. If this is LB, then when we run this will look the exact same. Same with LBox. These are just easier ways to write it. So I'll write the two different ones here. sg.listBox. When we write the whole thing, the B for box isn't capital, but and sg.lbox and sg.lb. These are the three different ways we can make this element. Alright, that concludes lesson 15 of my PySimpleGUI course. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, from novice to pro, work for tuition helps you grow.